We're all meant to man. It's all you have. So lay your
And now, the female perspective with your hosts, Barbie Bonder, Kathy Widmeyer, and Arlene Fallon.
Hi, welcome to the Female Perspective. I'm Barbie Bonder, LCSW.
I'm Kathy Widmeyer, LMHC.
And Arlene is away.
She's away today.
So
she's in O-Town
She's in O-Town
for the running of the children.
For the running of the children.
I think it's a track meet.
Some finals, or it's the last track
Well,
meet.
you know,
of
let's
the
hope
season.
little Aiden does well. We wish you well.
Aiden.
All right. So what's going on the female perspective today, ladies?
So today we're discussing how technology has changed the way we live.
We were kind of supposed to do
this last time, and we
I was
got...
going to say I'm having deja vu. That feels like last week's show, but all you guys did was talk about Facebook.
Yes.
We did.
Okay, so this
No
is this
Facebook
is
today.
a
This is
Facebook free
Yes.
free
episode of.
Anybody has any questions
Female
about
perspective.
Facebook, then tune into the last show that we did.
Exactly.
Okay. So how has technology changed society? Tell me.
In
Break
many,
it down like a fraction for me.
Many
I know, in
ways.
so many ways. So, if you really look since, like mostly internet, I think, since the internet first came out to like where we are now, all the changes and everything that have happened are like extreme, because at least we were able to live through that time from
this generation now has no idea.
Exactly. So we're just throwing our age out there. But from when it started to like where we are now, we're actually the ones that lived through, the beginning of technology and how it's grown, to actually be able to see some of those changes. And I know it's been something like radical, a lot of stuff that I'm sure you never imagined that we'd be doing, especially with our phones.
Exactly.
To where we are now.
I saw a little meme the other day about like what would you say if you like had to, Abraham Lincoln came and asked you what's different. It's like, well, that we carry a thing in our pockets that can tell us everything, and we have access to everything, and that's just...
Star Trek did it.
And when this thing... And
that was out in outer space, though.
It was on another planet where...
Okay, fine. Sorry, not a Trek.
But still, Star Trek did it.
Okay.
Well, and when we don't have this thing, it's like... how did we? What was it we said last time?
This thing that we're talking about, of course, is the
phone.
cell phone.
Right.
The
Okay.
cell phone.
cell
Yeah, we
phone.
said this.
Yeah.
She said that. Listen.
No, I don't think I did.
Oh.
Just trying to keep you guys
I don't
between
think I
the
did.
navigational beacons here, ladies.
I don't think I did, but yeah, like the cell phone. How we mentioned in the previous show that we did, that we started talking a little bit about technology. How we would be probably close to work, and I think out of all of us, we'll turn around and literally go back and pick up the phone. I mean, I have no concept of phone numbers, my agenda, what I'm supposed to do. Like everything's in my phone. So this is not only my phone, it's also my agenda. It's also my phone book.
My reminder.
My reminders.
So in addition to giving up your privacy, you've also given up
Our
some
brain,
smarts.
Some smarts.
Yeah, pretty much. I know, and that's a scary thing.
Well,
I
thank
have
God
to
you're
think
pretty.
about that. Well,
I saw it was yesterday. Someone posted on Facebook that I left my phone in a rush to get out of the office. I left my phone there. So just contact me on Messenger all week. And I'm like, well, you're not going to go to the office and get your phone? Like, how are you going to live? How are you going to survive without your phone?
so do we think that how technology has changed, or we want to refer to it as the internet, or however we want to refer to it?
Just want to point out, you're familiar with the show Naked and Afraid?
Yes.
How everybody's allowed to bring one thing? Nobody brings an iPhone.
No.
Nobody brings an
Because then
iPhone.
you have to bring a charger.
Well,
Where are
you
you gonna
say
charge it?
that you want to be, it's about survival, and that I can't survive without my phone. I'm just saying, on Naked and Afraid, people will bring matches, they'll bring some kind of knife or a tomahawk or something.
Pot.
Have yet to see anybody
Bring us
bring an iPhone.
No, your phone. You're right.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't want pictures
But they're filming the whole
floating
thing.
around. Right, but it's different if you're filming it and where that filming goes to, than if she's gonna have pictures of me.
What makes you think she doesn't? Think about that. Let the paranoia
Moving
set in.
Okay. Well, let's just talk about communication. How we communicate now. Before, you needed to pick up an actual phone, go visit someone. hi, I wanted to see you, Barbie, so I came over.
or even
You
just
know?
have a conversation. Now you can just like shoot a text.
Right.
And kind of be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry I haven't called you in a couple
Right.
days. How's
Happy
it going?
birthday.
Okay, good.
HP.
Hey, thanks. That's pretty much it. But before, it's like you actually had to, even if you were in the middle of something or going to do something, you had to really take time to like
Mhm.
have a conversation.
To
And if I was in
communicate.
a rush, I still had to talk to you.
Do you
And
remember when people would look at each other when they spoke? Now we communicate, but we're looking at our phones. We're carrying on 2 conversations at the same time.
Yeah.
Now I've read somewhere that women, and don't beat me up, ladies, actually carry on 5 conversations at any one time. There's what's being said, what's not being said, body language, what's intentionally being
what's my body
avoided.
language telling you?
Shut up. Get off the mic. Just asking questions here. All right, but you were saying, I was so intrigued.
I don't know what I'm saying.
What were we saying?
Communication. You just ruined my communication.
Yeah, you were talking about communication and how
okay,
things
so
have
we were
changed.
saying how,
It's instant
And
communication
one of the biggest
now.
things is we don't look at each other when we speak.
Yeah.
but not only do we not look at each other when we speak, we don't even really look at each other, period. Like, I'm sure,
Eye contact, a thing of the
I'm
past.
sure, yeah, but I'm sure like all of us have, you've been having dinner somewhere or having lunch somewhere, and you look around you and you see people, sitting at tables, whether they're with whoever it is that they're with, and I would probably say like a good 85%
Or looking at
of
their
the people that you look at are just sitting at a table across from someone else, and they're on their phones.
phones. I've seen that.
Right? So, and it's like I always bring up the story with my friends. So not that long ago, I was at Epcot last year.
Yay,
For the-
Disney.
Yeah, Disney. So for the food and wine, and we were walking around and going on different rides, and as we're walking through like one of those benches where everyone's sitting, there's a couple and their 3 children. The children must have been between the ages of like 2 to 5,
Okay.
like 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So the kids are sitting in the center, and then you've got mom on one end, dad on the other end, and the kids are just sitting on the benches, not doing anything. Mom and dad are on their phone, and they're like texting or like doing something, and that went on for like a while. And I'm just looking at the girls in Disney, looking so miserable.
Right, because they want to go run
Because
around. And
they're not doing anything in Disney but sitting on a bench, and then you've got the other 2 on each end on their phones, and I'm like, okay, so like no one's talking to each other.
But they're running a zone defense.
No one's
on corralling the children.
yeah, right.
but they're not.
No one's talking.
actively
Yeah,
parenting.
no one's talking to each other. They're on their phones. The poor kids look miserable, and you're in Disney. Really, I felt like saying to them, people, put the phone down and enjoy.
If you only had the number, you could text them.
Right.
Right? That would have been so much more
They probably would have
effective.
got the
Probably
message.
effective.
It would have been so much
They
more
would have got the
effective.
message.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, how, like,
Spend time with your children.
not only spend
For
time with
crying
your
out loud.
children, like, I mean, like, you're in a place for children, and then it's like in the future you wonder why your children are going to be so into like electronics. Like that's a thing that to me, I don't have children, but it's a thing that if I was to have children, or when I have children, hopefully, like, I really think about it, and it affects me because I see kids now, like, all they have are electronic things to keep them busy. And like when we went to restaurants,
Yeah, you had to behave. or else
you
get-
really
Right.
had to behave.
This all goes back to when we stopped beating kids. I think it was Dr.
Which will
Doc-
be an upcoming
Dr.
topic.
Spock.
Yeah, that's going
To
to be an
spank or
upcoming,
not
yeah.
to spank.
To spank or not to spank?
Tune in next
Okay.
week.
But you not only did you have to behave, you had to entertain yourself.
Mhm.
And when you did play and stuff like that, most of the activities were outside.
Right, you were actually getting
So
some
you were
exercise,
actually
getting some
getting
sun.
exercise, getting sun. And the things that you did, you used your imagination. So you had this whole other sense of you as far as creativity and stuff like that you were really able to, what's the word? Because it's coming to me in Spanish, but it's not coming to me in English.
Say it in Spanish.
Desarrollar.
Develop.
Thank you so much. That you had this thing
De nada.
that you were able to like develop your imagination. And I think that in so many ways, that's such a positive thing.
Yeah.
That now, because everything is kind of like right here, and you just kind of use your phone or your iPad or video games or whatever it is that you're using, that whole part of like childhood is kind of
It's
like
too
lost.
fast. Like it's like instant gratification. They
And
don't wait for
that's
anything
that's
either.
another thing. That's
You
another
know?
thing. Then you grow up not knowing what delay of gratification is, and
Right.
it leads to this whole like self-centeredness that I think society has. Maybe that's another topic. I don't know. Huh?
Technology destroying the minds of the young. Right here on The Female Perspective. Stick around, more to come. And now, back to The Female Perspective with your hosts, Barbie Bonder, Kathy Whittenmeyer, and Arlene Thalon.
Hi, and welcome back to The Female Perspective. Today we're discussing how technology has changed the way we live.
Yes, so we were talking about communication. We were discussing how this generation now growing up is just doesn't have the patience, doesn't.
Well, to be honest, I think like even our generation, because like I think like even people that like we know that are our age, communication skills have kind of like plummeted.
You use the word like 15 times in
I
one
know,
sentence.
I'm from Miami.
Okay, that's right. Irregardless.
Irregardless.
Bro,
Yeah, I'll have your best pink
I
Floyd.
can't.
I can't.
So we discussed a little bit about communication, how it is that communication has changed, and you know, even going as far as to say, in our opinion, it's gotten worse because people don't communicate the way they used to. Even now, you know, if you think about the times that you pick up the phone and talk to someone, it's actually a lot less because we're more likely to just shoot a text to someone to check in and say hello and see how someone is than to pick up the phone and sit and have a conversation with somebody.
So because of the technology, the art of conversation, the actual looking somebody in the eye, the making eye contact, that's all being lost.
I mean, I think it has.
I think so.
I think in a big way it has. And I know I'm one of the people that, you know, will send you a text a lot of the times as opposing to pick up the phone, but a big part of that is also because I'm multitasking.
Right.
So
Or
like
if you're
So
at
has
work
it made,
or something
has it
like
made
that,
things
you know.
better? I mean, is it something like, or let's say cursive writing? Is that going the way of the dodo, the buggy whip?
that's
listen,
sad.
that's so gone.
It's sad.
It's
mean,
so
Yeah, they don't
gone.
teach
When's the
cursive
last time
anymore.
you wrote in cursive?
Daily.
Daily.
Yeah, I write.
No, I don't write in cursive.
Oh, I do. If I'm wanting to be neat, then it'll be more print. But if I need to jot something down quickly, it's gonna be more cursive. I still use my cursive.
Your kids, my kids will never learn that.
I
Yeah,
was
they
gonna
will
say-
because I'm gonna teach them.
Okay.
But that's not
Mhm.
something that they learn.
They're not teaching it
They
in
don't
school
learn
anymore.
that in school anymore,
Not anymore.
right?
No.
And I know, like, even it's either you go like, I've written something in cursive, and there's like no concept for some people of how to even
They
read.
don't even know how to read
like,
it.
what it is. They don't even know what cursive is.
That's just the way you write.
Pretty much, my handwriting. That's one of the reasons I don't write in cursive
Okay.
because my cursive is so ugly. It's beyond ugly, and I still learned it in school.
Nobody writes letters anymore except grandmas.
Yeah.
Snail
I
mail.
know.
Snail mail.
All right. So there's another art of or form of communication that is being lost because of technology. Now, I'm not here to say that that's necessarily a bad thing. Now that we're talking with our thumbs, I'm speaking more to relatives that I would never normally,
Right.
I'm not calling them up on the weekly, but through their Facebook feed, through their
Right.
Instagrams and all that, I know what's going on with cousins who I normally would never have any idea what their day-to-day life is.
Right.
So, as much as it's taken away, it's brought a lot of new things to the table.
That's why.
So it's
I'm,
neither a good or
yeah,
bad.
That's why I'm kind of like on the fence because there's always going to be, like what we said last week also. There's going to be good and there's going to be bad. It allows you to keep in touch with people that you probably would have never kept in touch with otherwise.
Right.
It allows you to see.
But it also
things-
allows people that you don't want to have contact with to reach out and find out what you look like. You can get slick about it and find out all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that. Yeah.
Well, so
exactly.
so for two sides of the coin, I guess.
So there's
there's
two
a good
sides
side of
there.
it. There's a bad side of it. You keep in contact with those that you love, but those that you might find a little creepy are able to keep tabs on you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it also allows you, when it comes to texting and stuff like that, if it was back in the time when you actually had to pick up the phone and call everyone to check in and see how they're doing, you probably wouldn't be able to. I know I wouldn't be able to sit and have a conversation with everybody that I pretty much text or keep in touch with on a daily basis. So it also allows you to be able to stay in contact with people, with more people, as opposed to if you didn't have that via to be able to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for example, I have friends in different parts of the United States.
Right.
Some travel in and out of the country. I'm able to just send a text, send a message, check in, how are you, let me know what's going on, how have you been, and we are able to do that. If we were talking to each other, I probably wouldn't be calling her where she's at, or she wouldn't be calling me, but maybe once in a while, as opposed to at least
So the
keeping in touch.
convenience aspect of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. It makes
Isn't that the whole point of technology? Is to make things more
everything
convenient?
is more convenience. I mean,
But
traveling.
then on the other side, as you previously said, sorry to cut you off, the art of communication has then been lost to the point that when you are sitting with somebody or you're out with just one person, it kind of becomes like at time the phone becomes more interesting than being able to have a conversation with someone. Or
Well, you can't be staying on the phone. You got to check your Facebook page and then update that you were on the phone and put the picture of your
put the
scrambled
picture
eggs
and
on
put
there.
exactly
Right.
put the picture of your eggs
Check in at
and
the-
check in where it is that you
Well,
are.
I've seen that
and-
game that you're out to dinner with a bunch of people and everybody puts their phone in the middle of the table and whoever checks their phone first has to pay the tab.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
We
that.
should do that more often.
I like.
I would
where is
never
it?
pay for dinner.
What's there? There's a couple of restaurants that when you go eat there, there's a thing in the center that says "Put your phone here." It's I think it's Dolores, but you can call me Lolita.
So that again, yet another
They
aspect
put
of
your
how
phone-
technology has. Let's something as simple as getting a pizza.
Right.
Back in the day,
We had to
when
pick
there
up
was
the
one
phone, we
car
used
and there
to
was
have to
only one
call.
shoe size, and we jammed your foot in there whether it fit or not. Back in those days, you'd actually have to go down to the pizza place.
or pick up the
'Cause
phone.
there was
Pick up
one.
the phone.
pick up
I mean,
the
I-
phone.
No,
book.
that came later.
Oh yeah, way later. But
That
yeah,
came-
but we're
that was
talking about
the
when
nice
we were
folks at Domino's.
born, we were around. Wasn't around in the 50s where I had to get it,
Well, neither was I, Kathy. But there's these things called books. You might want to.
I've read several. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
All right. So then now you can get on your phone,
Oh, you
order
can
the
just
pizza. They'll
Pick the
tell you
pizza. I mean, you can
when
even
it
look
was
at
made.
it. Yeah.
when it's going into the oven, how far through the oven it's going. It's coming out of the oven. We're cutting it right now.
Yeah,
It's
there's
in
a
the
whole
car.
app. There's an app for that.
Yeah, there's an app
Yeah.
for that. So something as simple as ordering a pizza. Now you've got Siri. God loves Siri.
Siri.
And what was the whole thing
We
last
don't
week?
get along,
The
Siri and I
Ask
are not
Siri
friends.
with
So
the
zero
divided by zero.
zero, right?
So just
I like to ask Siri to close the pod bay doors.
And
You know, a little
she gets mad.
2010 action.
She
gets
gets mad.
very
She
upset.
doesn't like it anymore.
What is it?
Siri,
Close the
open
pod
the
bay-
pod bay
Open
doors.
the pod bay
Thank you.
doors.
Okay, so we'll do that on break.
Okay,
Because I
but-
haven't. I
Let's
haven't
see if she
experienced
does
that
it,
one.
because lately she's just
She
like,
just gets
I don't
annoyed
find
with
this
me.
funny. Yeah, she gets
But I
mad.
mean, if there's anything you want to know, you just ask Siri. You've got essentially the collective knowledge of mankind in the palm of your hand,
Right.
which is
Good and bad.
that's. I got to say, the good far outweighs the bad. Is what you do with it at that point. Is that's where good and bad, evil intent, and malicious intent, and all that
Right.
comes into it. The fact that you've got all this knowledge, you can find out any damn thing you want.
But then that also goes back to delay of gratification. Then you are so accustomed to being able to find out anything you want to find out, to be able to do anything you want to do at this given moment, that then when you do not have instant gratification,
You don't know what to do with it.
you don't know what to do with it. You get upset. It affects you in a different way.
So maybe delayed gratification, because this is what, the third, fourth time. I don't mean to go, armchair shrink on you here, because I'm in, hell, I barely made it through high school, let alone, the college degrees that you ladies are carrying around. You're intellectual heavyweights there. But I completely forgot my point. See what I'm saying?
So that's what
See?
happens.
It's that damn technology. Siri, what was I just thinking?
So let's go back to the 10 ways that the internet has changed the world. We pretty much covered communication.
So traveling, what did we have to do before traveling? I mean, you had to go to the airport and make the ticket or call, and
I don't even remember.
No, there was a
I don't
job,
even
so you had a
remember.
travel agent.
it would travel agent.
Oh, that's right,
you
travel
know.
agents.
Remember those?
Yeah, I remember. It took me a while.
They're all working out at the
Travel agent.
buggy whip factory now.
Travel agents. That's right.
Yeah, now you just go. There was, what was the website I was looking
You
at?
don't even get a
the other
paper
day?
ticket. You just show your phone.
You just show your phone.
Yeah.
And then depending on the airlines, they have apps where you're able to check in days before you're even at the airport, where you
Right.
can check where your plane is, where you can check if your plane's going to be on time, if it's not going to be on time. Your friends can download the app if they're picking you up at the airport so that they could see if your plane took off on time. It'll guide them as to like where you're flying over. It'll let them know where you landed. I mean,
Yeah.
you can pretty much do
Anything.
anything. You
I
can
remember having to get a map. We did a, drive up in the Northeast years ago that we went from one state to the other. I got a map. And we're like,
and it was like that big map
Right,
that like
that
it
just-
took up the whole entire
Yeah,
dashboard.
Whoever was riding shotgun was navigator.
That was your job.
Right.
Your job was to
you
read
were
the map.
navigator.
Correct.
You
So,
keep
but
good
you-
music on the radio and read the
You
map.
gotta take
DJ
I-75.
and navigator. That's
gotta
your
be-
job.
And now, no,
I-75 is
it's,
going to be coming up here in about 35 miles. We're going to need to get off and go south, okay?
now,
Thanks, navigator.
Siri tells you where to turn, and
Google Maps tells you where you are, where you need to go.
if there's traffic.
You can check your traffic. You can find alternate routes so that
Mhm.
you don't get stuck in traffic. It's all
Convenient, yes?
convenient. Sometimes
If you've ever been stuck on the interstate or the turnpike and you've been stuck there for 6 or 7 hours because of a jackknife truck or something like
Right.
that, and there's no bathroom and you've got hungry kids now, that we got to go back in time here. I was the hungry kid when this would happen. And you're 30, 40 miles away from
The
the
next
nearest
exit.
restaurant. You're just out in the middle of nowhere. And this is back when you got to know your neighbors because everybody went over to the
Right.
woods to pee.
Nice.
What are you gonna do?
Well, yeah, what are you gonna do?
But that's hoping that your homegirl Siri gets it right, because every once in a while, I check in with my girl Siri, and I'm asking her if there's traffic, and homegirl has me over in Boston, Massachusetts.
Right. No. Well, I don't use.
I'm not
I
even
don't use
remotely
the Apple
close
Maps.
there.
I use Google Maps.
Right,
Because
so I changed it.
Siri, I was going to your neck of the woods to Wynwood, and Siri got me lost in Overtown. So
Well, at least she had you in Miami. Homegirl had me in Boston, Massachusetts. I was like, what is wrong with this chick?
Yeah, she's got that problem.
Siri just wants you to get out and see the country.
See the world.
To the world.
Them and Alamo Rent-A-Car. Not a sponsor.
So stay tuned for Female Perspective. Today we're discussing how technology has changed the way we live.
And now, back to the female perspective with your hosts, Barbie Bonder, Kathy Wittenmeyer, and Arlene Fallon.
Welcome back to the female perspective. Today we're discussing how technology has changed the way we live.
Yes. So
Far we're not doing really well. So far we've covered communication
and travel.
and travel.
So shopping. Let's talk about shopping, because now you can shop about. Yes, please.
Now I got Mr. This is Roy O from the Roy O Show.
Hi, Roy.
Right here
Hi,
on 24/7, and he's brought us cafecitos.
Cafecito.
When is your show on, Roy?
Wednesdays.
Wednesday, 7 o'clock, the Roy O Show, right here, 24/7miami.tv. Roy is the bringer of coffee
The bringer of coffee.
and wonderful things. And for that, we thank you, Roy, and we encourage everybody to tune in while his butt is in the camera there. No, actually, no, you're good. You're good.
There was an arm in the
that
camera.
may up
but
the
that's
ratings. That may up the ratings. The Roy O Show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here, 24/7miami.tv.
Okay. Tune.
That's
All
what you
right.
get when you make us
Cafecito.
cafecito.
Yes, thank you. I've become addicted to these in the last 3 weeks. Okay, shopping. You used to actually have to go to the store.
Remember the mall? Remember the
That's-
mall when it was just, it wasn't just for old people to walk around?
Right, it was the place to hang out. That's where
They had a
we
food
went.
court, and
Well, they
they
still do. They still have all that stuff.
Yeah, I still like to.
No, I like to
I'm a
feel
big
close.
right. I'm a
I
big
don't-
thing with certain things. I'm okay buying online. Certain things like shoes, clothes.
Pornography.
I was gonna say try it on. You know, shoes and clothes I like
Enough
to try
said.
on.
Moving on.
You know, I'm the same way. I like to feel the material and stuff, and
See if it fits. You know.
because then you have
Shoes
to deal with
especially that
Yeah.
shipping things back. But
Uh-uh.
certain things, you know, are good
Yeah.
to buy online.
I wish Publix delivered again. I used to hear that they would
They don't do that anymore.
Not down here. I think in other states they may.
Oh,
But that would be fantastic. If Publix, if you could just
You'd
do.
never have to leave your house. They'd bring the groceries right to you.
I know that. would
You
be
can order,
great.
movies. Why?
they do, yeah. They're. I know they do that in certain areas. There's
This-
even a refrigerator that goes ahead and orders your stuff for you.
Yeah, those freak me out. The houses, the smart houses.
I'm
yeah.
like looking at you like a refrigerator. What?
Well, I'm sure you want to talk about how the way we live.
Right.
Now they have the iHouse or the smart house that recognizes you when you come in and how you like the lights during time of the day and what kind of
You
music
can
that you
control
like.
all that.
I was gonna say
Even
you
where
can-
you walk by a painting, and it senses
And
you coming in and
the
it puts
lights
your
turn.
favorite art up.
Yeah, that.
Oh, that's.
Who has that? Somebody has that. I think it's Gates.
Well, probably.
Right. Yeah. The artwork puts the
Well,
music.
that's not a big step from now they've got the picture frames that are digital picture frames.
Right. But the
Uh-huh.
artwork not only changes, the music that you like starts playing when you walk by the art.
That's crazy.
And that
That's a
weird?
lot
What
of
happens
disposable
is,
income.
so what happens if like 5 of you are walking down the hallway at the same time?
I'm sure it would play
what
something
happens
neutral.
to the artwork then?
It'd run the house would run a million
Blows a fuse.
calculations. I'm sorry,
Smoke starts coming out.
but one of you has to go.
No, but like I know from there's certain I think maybe Comcast
You can set your
does that.
you can set your
Like, if
alarm.
you're
You
out
can
of
set your
town,
DVR.
You can say, oh well, let me turn on the hall light so it looks like somebody's there at night, and you can boop 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 from your phone and
You can
control
close
your lighting,
You can close
your
your
air
garage door
conditioning.
if you forget to.
So
you
all
can
all
alarm-
convenient things. Now, the downside,
what is somebody?
all that can be hacked.
Yeah,
Right.
All that can be hacked, and
yeah, it's scary. And
little personal story here. My cousin Derek, who I love dearly, when we were young men, we managed to swipe the remote control from our kid who lives across the street. So we get up about 2 o'clock in the morning. We didn't go to sleep, but we went out. This is back when you could do that. We went out at 2 o'clock in the morning, snuck over, got into the bushes behind the kid's house, turned the TV in his bedroom on, like cranked it up. So of course the parents come running in. They're yelling at the kid. I don't know anything. I didn't do anything. They turn it off, and before they even get out of the room, we start turning it off and on and off and on and off and on.
thinking their house
Needless
is
to say,
haunted.
I can only wonder how much therapy that kid needed after that.
Did the family like pack up their stuff the next
No,
morning and the moving truck was there? They're like, wow.
No, it's they would have to be
Poltergeist.
people of color for that. Caucasians aren't smart enough to get out of the house when it tells you to get out. They're not. Hey, this isn't me. This is Richard Pryor. I'm just saying. Get out. We don't.
We're done.
End of movie.
Yeah. Caucasians are like, I think the house is haunted. I'm not sure. Maybe they have the recipe for onion soup. Let me ask.
Research. This makes me sad that my kids will never know how to go to a library and pull out and look through the card
The
catalog.
death of the Dewey Decimal
The Dewey
System.
Decimal System. What about Encyclopedia Britannica? Like, we had the whole entire, I think we still do at my mom's house, the whole entire set. And it's like, if you had to do a research paper on Brazil, well, you got to go to BR and sit there
And look up Brazil.
And look, and
Yeah.
it had pretty pictures, and you
Right.
Find
But
out
I
what their
laugh
gross
'cause-
domestic product is and their population.
my parents, personal story, my parents were moving, and my mom still had the encyclopedias from when I was in elementary.
Right.
So I'm talking to you 1982,
Yeah,
83.
me too.
And my mom's like, well, maybe we could sell these. I'm like,
Who's going to buy them?
oh, Mom, come on
Nobody's
now.
going to buy them.
You're going to have to pay someone to take them. No one's going to buy them.
books because they were big.
Big books, mind you, from 83. So not only can you now find stuff on the internet,
outdated.
the information that's in there is no longer relevant.
Yeah,
'cause
some of those countries don't exist
I
anymore.
can't, right.
pull the eye and look up internet. It's not even in there.
No.
That
Yeah,
didn't
there you go.
exist. So,
There
I mean,
you go.
yeah.
Go to the 1973 encyclopedia
80 to
and
80
look up
something. Let's do
look
80
up internet. Huh? Won't even be there.
Let's go to the 80s.
Won't even
as
be
well.
there.
The 80s. It's the 80s.
Yeah, we're
Um,
not that old. The 80s.
The 80s.
So research. I mean, you can do, if you're feeling sick, you got your WebMD, which
No,
you know.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'll tell you
understand
all
why-
the million and six ways that you're going to die.
I don't do WebMD.
No, I don't either. But there are some that if I have to look up some sort of disorder. The other day, somebody was
Right.
asking me, "What's this?" And I was like, "Well, let me look."
Yeah, just
and there were-
the changes of the DSM
Right.
alone. That was a big thing as opposed to having this big
There
book.
are applications for everything.
There are.
When my wife and I were having, I think it was second or third child, the OBGYN had some app on his phone that every time he examined her, he'd break it out, put in her information in his phone, and it would, his little wizard box would do its calculations and come back and, oh, you're this, you're that, you're wiffle ball bat. And, all through the power of his phone.
What? Wait.
Cuban doctor.
What was
He
that?
was not a Cuban
You
doctor.
hear that?
Oh,
First of all.
listen, I just remember the man, this is your OBGYN and
This
how
is one
hairy
of
his
them.
knuckles were,
This
and
was
that
the
freaked
one
me
of
out.
them.
Just
But
saying.
What's wiffle that? What was that?
That's a
Country? Is that a country?
That's
term?
what do you call them, Rios?
Rios, a random insanity outburst. Just ignore them. Yeah, just ignore them. They just happen.
But going back,
sporadically.
so aside from research, one of the things that to me it's not that it's sad, but it's a change that I can't quite fall into is the fact of not having books.
Yeah.
So that you can download.
And I love a book, and
I like a
sadly,
book.
I just downloaded a book because I wanted it.
So I
and-
did it right. So I did that once or like twice because it was certain books and it was just easier and I wasn't able to get them. And so I just downloaded and I read it and I just felt so awkward, like holding an electronic device and turning the page. It was just so awkward
'Cause
to
there's
me.
nothing like a
And
feel
it's
of
small
a book.
and I personally like to hold books. I like to have a book, smell a book, have it in my hand,
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
the page. I like that part of reading. It's very hard for me to wrap my brain around reading on an electronic device. Whatever the device is, I think it takes away, for me at least,
Yeah.
from the experience of reading.
But you use a microwave. Mm.
No, I do. I'm
Yeah,
just trying
I
to
know you
figure out
do.
what a microwave has to do with.
The ease of technology and, with
But I didn't say I didn't like technology. I said technology when it comes to reading a book for me
for you,
specifically
yeah, right.
takes away from the experience of reading. But
Okay.
microwave
Using a microwave doesn't take away from the
Doesn't take
experience.
away
So
from the
eating-
experience.
Of course
Reading.
it does.
No.
Of course it does.
No, I still sit and eat it in the same place. I don't eat it in the microwave.
It's the act of cooking. Never mind, you cuckoo bird. You're nuts.
All right, news and weather. This is I have a new thing on my Weather Channel app that it'll tell me if lightning is nearby. Because we live in the lightning capital of
So
the United States.
news and weather, I think is fair to say, is like a more positive.
I do
kind of
because
thing.
to be honest, I don't sit anymore and watch the news on
Do you
Channel
remember when
7.
you had to sit in the Weather Channel and wait
Wait
for your city to like scroll up in the screen to see like what
Local
the
on the
weather was
8th.
gonna be or
Local
whatever
on the
it was?
8th,
Yeah, and it was
8,
like
18, 20.
you
yeah.
actually sat there for like a good 30 minutes just waiting for it to scroll through everything.
Or
so
like
that
TV
you
Guide
could see-
Channel.
TV. Oh, that was bad too. You just sit at the TV
It's like,
Guide
and you
Channel.
always turned it on right and it had just scrolled past the one that
You
you
had to
channel
sit
you wanted
there.
to see. So
Oh boy, we're old.
yeah, but I do agree. I don't feel the need to sit and actually physically watch the news. Sorry to news
I don't watch.
anchors
I don't
out
watch
there,
the news
because I
either.
get my news here.
I get my news there, whatever news it is I want to know about. But I think like weather, especially if you're traveling,
Oh yeah,
is
I'm constantly
actually
looking to
a
see. Oh
really
look, it's
good-
gonna rain next weekend at Disney.
if you're
or
going
something.
somewhere, if you're planning a barbecue, if you're doing something, that to me is actually something good because it allows me to, better plan
But
whatever it is that's happening.
I still take it with a grain of salt, especially the weather, because
yeah.
9 times out of 10 it's not accurate.
Right.
Like I know someone changed the barbecue from this past weekend from Saturday to Sunday because it was supposed to rain on Saturday and it was sticking beautiful all day. So
Agreed.
yeah, it's not
See,
always
you can't
accurate.
always trust the technology.
No, you
well,
can't.
no, even and not only technology, even when you used to watch it on the news. I mean, half the time the weather people are telling you something
it's a
different than
crapshoot.
what's
It's
going on.
kind of.
Right.
We think it's gonna rain. It'll probably.
Well, they've got all the indicators to say that it
sure,
was. That's not,
but that doesn't mean
it's
it's
a,
going to.
Well, and let's be honest, Miami's pretty big, so just because it's going to rain, you also have to figure out where exactly it's going
Right.
to rain.
No, that's Florida as a whole. If you,
Well,
you don't like the weather,
Just
you
wait
can
20 minutes.
Wait 5 minutes or walk 15 feet and it'll
Yeah.
change.
Right. So
All
you're
right.
listening to The Female Perspective. Stay tuned. Today we're discussing how technology has changed the way we live.
And now back to The Female Perspective with your hosts, Barbie Bonder, Kathy Whitmire, and Arlene Salon.
Welcome back to The Female Perspective. Today we're discussing how technology has changed the way we live.
So we've discussed a couple of things: traveling, shopping, research, the news, and the banking.
Communication.
Yeah, communication. We did banking. I love the fact that we barely have to go to the bank. I do like
That is
one.
a dream come true.
Yes, direct deposit. My check is there. You give me a check, I can take a
Take
picture
of it, put it in. I can check
transfer
my
money.
balance.
The only thing that the phone won't do is spit out cash, which
That's-
once
once
we can get there, we're gonna be good.
Shangri-La!
I need $20, Siri.
But back in the day, for you to even know what you had in there,
You have to call.
You
You
had
have to go to the bank.
go to the bank
Yeah.
and check your. I know you're looking at me surprised. Yes, yes.
That
is
or
what,
you
that
balanced
is
your
what
checkbook.
happened.
Oh, you balanced-
actually
you balanced
had to
your
keep
checkbook.
track of it yourself because you didn't trust the banker.
Right. But you had to anything you wanted to do bank. You even had to stand in line back when there wasn't even
Mhm.
an ATM machine, or you weren't able to do that through ATMs. So in that sense, I can say
like
that that's
this,
always.
this advancement.
I
think.
like this part of it because I have my little app. I can check what's going on. I can
Mhm.
transfer funds between accounts without having to go to the bank and
Right.
stand in line and go through all that. I mean, back in the day when you wanted to deposit a check, you couldn't even. I remember there was a point you couldn't do it through ATM. You actually
No,
had to
yeah,
go
that's
to your
relatively
banker.
new. You have
So imagine payday, and everyone else is doing the same thing. I'd probably spend like a good hour just standing in line
Mhm.
waiting to deposit my check.
And you had to pull out cash for the weekend.
You had to take out,
again,
right.
I'm dating
Right.
myself because you guys don't know anything about this, but there was a time when there were no ATMs.
we
I
just
And you had-
didn't know
Oh,
this.
hi. Well, welcome to the show, The Female Perspective, where I just finished saying that.
Right, but you'd have to, you'd have to pull cash for the weekend,
Right.
or maybe the grocery store would cash a check for you if they knew you.
They would charge you
A fee, right?
a fee for cashing your check. For
Well,
you.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, we still have that. That's
Yeah.
your Scotts and all those wonderful people.
But that was, now who would have thought you just take a picture? I'm not so comfortable with.
I don't
yet.
love it's, and because I feel it takes a minute too. Like I don't. Some other banks, I guess, deposit it right away. Mine doesn't, so it's like no, it's gonna go right in quicker if I go to the ATM.
It just that one scares me. That one I think I'm still like living in like the old
The
era
80s.
because taking a picture and then sending it. Like, what if they don't get the picture?
Right. Well, they
What
say to hold on to the check and
Oh,
for
okay, so
2
I've never
weeks.
done that.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it does say hold on to the check. You know.
Wait a
make sure
minute,
that
I
it's
thought
not-
this was supposed to be convenient. Now I got to hold on to the check for 2 weeks to make sure that you do what your wizard box says it's going to do.
So what do you do with the check?
You write. You're supposed to endorse it, and then you take a picture of the front and the back,
Okay.
and then you get a confirmation number. So
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And
you
then
just-
what do you do with the check after?
you just
You
get
like
rid
shred
of it.
it?
Yeah, you can get rid of it.
See, I don't know. That scares me a little.
Just put it in your records because
Yeah.
it tells you there. Keep it.
It
For-
says for like
for
2
2
weeks.
months, I
Oh no,
think.
2 weeks.
2
Mine
weeks?
says
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Mine says 2 months in Chase.
Okay.
They tell me to keep it for.
Just in case. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't come
Yeah,
to
for
terms
me,
with
then
that.
I'm gonna lose it. I'm not gonna remember where I put it, so I'd rather just go to the
The thing
ATM,
is that
stick
I'm
it in.
afraid to go to the bank. I just do everything on my phone.
Oh no, I like the
I'm
ATM.
afraid.
I do prefer the
for,
ATM
at least for deposit. See,
for depositing.
money going in, I want to make sure it goes where it needs to go.
Right.
So for that, I will go to the ATM.
But the money going out, you're not really concerned with the
No,
bank
it
checks.
doesn't matter.
I saw
what I
something
think,
on, so we weren't going to bring it up, but I saw something on a social networking site that was one of those memes that's, well, how come I got to verify who I am to pay a bill? If somebody else calls in to pay my bill, take their money. I don't care if they're me or not me. They want to pay my bills. Why do you
Yeah,
got
I'm
to
not gonna
prove who
question
you
that.
are to pay a bill?
Right.
I don't know. Education. This one blows
This one,
me
I don't,
away.
this one blows me. Yeah, I don't.
I
know
have
where
a
am
friend
with
that's
this one.
getting her full-on PhD online, and
I don't. Yeah.
I think. I mean,
do
it's a lot
do
more
employers
convenient.
take online universities seriously? I mean, there was a time when it was like you didn't tell somebody you went to an online
I know that
university.
it's. I don't know if they take it. I mean, I think through the years, it's become a little bit more
I wish Arlene was here because she
Yeah.
does some online teaching, so she would probably have more.
to say about
Input
that.
on this.
I'm sure she would.
But
Yeah, no, she would.
But no, it's important that the children get run.
But, but I know through the years it's kind of become a little bit more. I don't know if it's acceptable or what, but a little bit more mainstream. You do see more colleges, offering online classes, online
Right.
degrees. It's
Yeah,
Yeah, but
so
if
I
you
mean,
get an
before it
online
used to
degree
be-
from what's there's Kaiser or Phoenix?
No, but like we're
the two big
talking like
boys.
like Florida International University is offering online classes and all.
But can you get
get-
just flat out a degree where
Yes,
you
you
never
can.
walked into a classroom?
Well, I know FIU and stuff doesn't order that, but I know like Kaiser and those universities do.
That's
offer.
those are the ones I'm
Yes,
talking
those
about.
offer
Are those taken seriously?
I wouldn't know what to tell you about that. I know, for example, some of the classes and stuff that you could take at like our local universities that you can go ahead and do online. There's a whole thing that goes with the online classes. You still have to come in. I think there's certain days that you have to do group things. You have to come in for tests. So there is that aspect of it. But there are degrees that you can strictly get online
Yeah.
where you don't see anyone go anywhere, and you get your full degree. We're not talking like a class or two
Right.
classes like what we.
No,
what I
yeah,
know,
my
like
friend
a
is
This
PhD.
getting
is not
her-
a degree in underwater basket weaving.
No,
This
no,
is,
this is a PhD that my friend is getting, and she's doing
Goodness.
yes, and she's doing it online.
That I don't know how.
technology.
See that one, I don't know, because to me there's a whole thing that comes with the experience of getting your degree that I think for certain job, for careers or degrees that you do need that.
Right.
That I don't know. That one I'm a little.
The classroom interaction, the back and forth with the teacher, a Socratic method, something
Yeah,
along those lines.
the ability to challenge my thoughts, the ability for me to blurt something
Well, no, but
out.
they
and to
still
kind
do
of-
that though. They just do it as like, it's like an online.
So what? Everyone's on at the same.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to. It's not like she's like, oh, I feel like doing. No, she's got certain times from 8 to 10. She's got to be logged on, and I guess they're interacting. But this
Well,
is
there
all
goes the whole
virtual.
convenience aspect of it. I thought it was you could get on whenever you wanted.
That's what
For
I
certain
thought.
things, yes, but there's certain other parts of it that I believe.
So you were
it's-
actually talking to everybody?
Yeah,
Oh.
I
Huh.
think so.
Did not know that.
I mean,
All right, we're running low on time, right?
Yeah,
This
you
is
got
our
about 2
last
minutes
segment.
left.
Okay, so
So
quickly.
pimp the website. Pimp the
yeah.
Facebook page.
So the Facebook page is the
Thank
Female
you.
Perspective. Please go on Facebook, like our page, give us your ideas, let us know what it is that you think, anything that you want us to go ahead and cover.
We also have our number in case anybody would like to contact us for private sessions or just to get feedback. That is 786-565-4757.
So let's just go ahead and finish up quickly as far as how it is that the internet has made things even easier. Job searches, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back in the day, if you wanted to apply for a position, you had to physically go to where it is that you were applying, find out if they
Or
had
find the classifieds.
find the
Circle
classifieds,
the ads. That you
circle
were
the
in, yeah.
ads, call the people, go to the place that you wanted to go, ask them if they were hiring for anything. They
Fill out
would
an
give you a
application.
list. You'd have to fill the application out there and drop off your application. Now you have the ability to search online. You're able to post your resume
You just upload your
through
resume
all
and
kinds
they'll,
of places.
they'll contact you. I was
They'll
getting,
contact- yeah. I get calls.
17 emails a day from one, this job may fit your needs and this
Right.
person.
You get that. You also have, if you want to apply for a position, you can apply, and you can just take your resume from whatever website it is that you're on, and it puts your resume into the
Just uploads
application,
it
and you're pretty
boom.
much done. So that's a big thing. And the other thing is entertainment. Not only the ability that you can now watch and stream movies, shows, but you can also, record certain things, and you can actually use your phone to be able to set your DVR to record certain things. The fact that you can check movie times,
Yeah.
those are all, I think, pretty positive things. But so we're kind of like on the fence for certain ones.
For some,
I don't
and then
know.
other stuff, I'm glad that we
And-
do have the advancements that
Yeah.
we have.
Other stuff have made life a little bit more convenient, I guess it's fair to say.
So maybe just, as with anything, moderation,
Exactly.
including
so.
moderation.
Exactly.
Well, join
So-
us next week. We are going to change gears a little bit and discuss some parenting issues. Arlene will be back with us. And thank you for... Yes, okay, we did just say the Facebook page.
So let's just say it again. So let's
Do
just
it
say it again. So
again.
just make sure to go on Facebook, add the Female Perspective. Let us know what it is that you think. Give us any ideas, any pointers, anything you want to hear, and contact us at 786-565-4757. This is the Female Perspective.
Bye.
Bye.